I'm the comedian Stewart Lee, and I'm introducing this last film because I'm a Bob Dylan fan, and I'm a Bob Dylan fan. I'm that kind of middle-aged man who, when this Bob Dylan biopic came out, wanted to be angry and disappointed with it because no one could possibly understand Bob like we did, but it was great. So that went wrong. And well, I'm really, really delighted to be introducing this, and I'm looking forward to seeing it again. If you think you're not going to make the end of the film because you're worried it's running a bit late and you get tired, I'll tell you what happens at the end. Bob Dylan is killed in a motorbike accident and replaced with a double who goes on to record a string of disappointing Christian rock albums in the 80s. So you know that now, so you don't need to stay to the end. But it's a really great film. James Mangold's a complete unknown. There's lots of questions to ask about it. It's not always entirely factually accurate. It looks absolutely accurate in terms of its locations and design. But what is accurate about it is the kind of emotional thrust of the story, the intellectual thrust of it, and the questions it asks about art and personal responsibility. And the way that those debates are framed is handled really, really well, particularly in relation to the main secondary character in the film, I suppose, Bob Dylan's muse and sort of artistic rival, Joan Baez. And we're really lucky to have with us tonight for a brief Q&A the actress who plays Joan in the film, Monica Barbaro. Please give her a huge clap.
Hello. Is this on?
A tough call playing a living person.
Yes, yeah. Thank you guys for coming. This is so sweet. Yes, yeah, challenging. She was definitely a headliner of these kinds of festivals.
Yeah.
And to fill those shoes was daunting, yeah.
Okay, in the film, some of the things that Joan does didn't happen. Like, I don't think there was a tryst between Joan and Bob Dylan on the night of the missile crisis, like literally. But all the things that she does advance the story and advance the ideas in it, right? So was there did you have to make a choice between whether you were going to do the kind of insanely accurate impression of her that Michael Sheen might have done if he was inexplicably cast as Joan Baez, or did you have to make a choice about serving the script as it was written? And were they the same, or did it sometimes require choices about whether you were her or the character?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was important for everyone to not get into doing impersonations of these people because that could lend itself to feeling more comedic. But, and of course, they take, artistic license and change the story a bit to keep it flowing. But, I mean, all of us sort of fought for our characters and the research that we had done to make them as authentic as possible and to get as close as we could to their sound and to the stories of their lives. And we were always like running up to Jim and kind of giving accurate information and bugging him about all this stuff we had learned. And he's like, cool, that doesn't matter for their scene. Go over there, stand there, be sad. Okay, let's move on. But I mean, it was just like, it was a mishmash of like fact and fiction, but as long as it felt really authentic and felt really true to the folk scene and what they were saying, we felt like we were on the right path.
In retrospect, with the benefit of hindsight, what a lot of that story is about is how a man coming into that situation overshadows a woman of equal talent, and she has to kind of negotiate a way through that, and then he kind of moves on past it. When you met her, did she feel vindicated in some way to see that story told in a way that was more sympathetic to her? Funny enough, there's a film this week earlier about John Lennon and Yoko Ono, in which, of course, it's taken 50 years for people to accept that Yoko Ono was a really great artist in her own right, because as soon as you bring a Beatle into the mix, it changes the dynamic. So did she feel pleased with what you'd done with it?
I mean, well, yeah, in the case of Joan, she was a mega star before Bob was even known, and you see that in the movie. And she really did leverage his career in a big way. I mean, he was writing lyrics he found ways to say the things that she was wanting to say in music. So he did provide her with a lot. And the entire, all of these musicians, everyone did his songs, and he became like the lyricist, the voice of that generation. But she really did leverage him, and so did Pete Seeger. And, there isn't any moment in time when they're interviewed for something where they don't have to talk about Bob. It's always about him. And that is sort of what I've seen her reflect back on, after the movie has come out. She was very positive about the movie, and she has sort of insinuated that he can suck the air out of a room in the way that he does in this film.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it is, in a way, to be perfectly honest, it's another way in which it's a movie about Bob, and she happens to be in it. But
yeah, but on some level, it's redressed the balance of her being an incidental figure in that story, hasn't it? Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And what she really valued were his protest songs. I think more so than the Blowin' in the Winds. She wanted to hear. We don't do it in the film, but the song With God on Our Side was like the song that she fell in love with him over. It was really specific, truly deeply protesting, which this festival has been so inspiring because there's been so much of that, so many strong voices saying such important things. And I think that's what she really admired him for. The cool thing about the Sylvie character, which is based on Suze Rotolo, is that it shows that she actually was one of the first people to push him to actually say something with his lyrics, and show up to rallies and understand what was going on in the 60s. And that's so hugely important too.
Yeah, and yet the sort of story of the artist is that he was validated initially by writing political folk music, and then felt that he had to move on past it and do something else, and appears to be deliberately nasty to all the people that had nurtured him in order to force that to get out of it. And then you have that great final scene where you're coming down as he's getting on the motorbike, and you say, "What is it? What's the line? Something about you're gonna have to leave."
Has everyone seen this movie? Or are we absolutely spoiling the whole thing?
It's really good. You should watch it more often. It's when
history. So.
No, it's when you go. You finally got it. Got what? Freedom from us and all our shit. And he has to let. And I like the fact that the film was bold enough to show him as a manipulative, selfish, and unpleasant person, because I think all great artists are. So, but well, Bob Dylan's been called the Stewart Lee of music. So it's but it's quite a weight to have to carry, isn't it? That at the end you have to nail that whole idea that he had to be let go. He had to be let go.
Yeah, I think they wanted him. It's tough. The way Jim describes it is that he was being stifled in his own community growing up, and then he started singing these songs. He became this powerful voice, and then he was being strangled again by this community in a way. I think it's really hard once you become this politically active voice to be anything else, and he didn't want to be beholden to that. And the folk community was one of sort of righteous authenticity, and you do not plug your instruments in, and just sort of all these purist rules in a way that I think he wanted to break free from. How he did that and how people felt about that is up to them.
Did you have to go in cold on learning to do the music stuff, or had you got any background in? Could you play those kinds of tunes already?
Yeah, no, I didn't play guitar and I didn't sing when I was cast in this, and so I had to learn to do those things to play one of the best
Yeah.
in the business.
And how did you get on, do you think? You all right at
I
that?
did okay.
You going to do that again?
I mean, I haven't picked it up in a while, and
Yeah?
I really regret that. I kept like saying that I would keep playing.
You're not
and
going to move into protest folk, sideways move? Because
maybe.
Disney will be really excited
I mean,
about that
honestly,
if you
the
do that.
time is now. You know?
I know. The time is here.
Yeah.
The time is to go now out there and do it in the night.
It is.
And
I did
start-
see a guitar just like sitting.
Yeah. Start it here.
I didn't go get it. I
Great.
didn't grab it.
What's been the best thing about doing this film then? What's the best? What's been the most satisfying thing about it? Because it's a piece that's going to hang around, and it's helped us to understand. Okay, it's helped us to think about what's the point of art in relation to politics and protest, and this is really kicking off again now in the States, isn't it? As well, it's all the battles that era won in terms of civil rights things are being pulled back in all Western democracies. So we've got lots of those sorts of questions to ask again. So it must feel like a really relevant film to have worked on at this point. What's been the best thing about it for you?
God, yeah. Even since we worked on it, we were filming like just a year ago. So much has changed. It's so exhausting. But yeah, I think it is now, more than ever. I think I even was sort of rolling my eyes at this sentiment while we were doing the press tour just a few months ago, when people were like, "Oh, no one writes songs like this anymore." And I do think that's not true. I think there are loads of musical artists who are talking about things. I mean, we heard Kneecap, we heard, and all over. Kendrick Lamar, all kinds of artists are like actually saying something. And just because pop music exists, it doesn't mean those voices don't exist right now. But I think it really is so important now, just like it was in the 60s and 70s, for artists to speak out for what they believe in. It's just been such an inspiring weekend to see so many people, use their voice. I think, like, personally, selfishly, the best thing about doing this film was getting to learn how to play music. I think it's like a just miraculous gift to be able to get to make music with your hands. And I mean, I've always had respect for musicians, but to have attempted to do it in a film setting, and then to see artists do it on huge stages all weekend, I've just been so blown away. And the idea that, like, you can pick up a guitar and learn how in the privacy of your own room is like just such a gorgeous. A guitar can be a friend. It's a beautiful thing.
I think that would be a great point to stop this interview on the phrase, "A guitar can be your friend." If you take one thing away from it, take that back. Thanks for talking to us at this late hour. Monica, give her a round of applause, please.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks.
Enjoy.
I'll just say, you can take your chair off. Yeah, go on.
Okay, bye.
That's what I like to see in an award-nominated Hollywood actress, not too proud to take her own chair off. That's the way this runs. So this is a great film, right? And every little detail of it in terms of set and casting is superb. When you at the festival scenes in it, when you look around the people that are at the side of the stage, you can track every single one of those extras to some actual person who was there at the time. And the sets of the streets are perfect, and the interiors of all the places are absolutely dead on. It's like moving through 60s Greenwich Village in New York. And I hope you enjoy it. Thanks for coming along and being with us for the last screening in the cinema tent. And I hope you will have a really good couple of years, and we'll see you back here in 2027, hopefully. Thanks a lot. So this is A Complete Unknown.